Alright, so we made some progress last time. I'm forgetting a little bit how some of the object setup went. So, major things we need. Well, we have to do something with like the arm and body. Now, I think the arm might be a... Yeah, coming back to it, the arm's looking a little bit big. I mean, you want it to be a usefully large visible element, but that's basically as big as his head. Oh, I duplicated this somewhere. Oh, wait. No, there was a specific reason for that. I think one of them had an outline. Yes, one of them has an outline. And the other one covers up that outline from the black. The light. What the heck? Isn't there a modifier to maintain scale? Yeah, that was too much. Or proportion. Wait, is the lower one? Okay, it is changing. Oh, right, because we've got this light colored outline. Just blending in on the white background. Yeah, so that creates a slight perceived size difference with the white outlines on light versus dark, but so on here the arm still feels kind of large. And I could actually... Oh my gosh, the snaps. If I overlapped it a little bit, I can make that bigger, and then we're going to tweak this thing a bit. Hmm. That's sort of a balancing act between visual size here and visual size here with the outline. Now, one of the things I want to do, and I might want to do soon, because of that, is to kind of get the stripe going up here. Is there a sub-object I have to... Oh, I got into a tool. Okay. I'm doing something else. Trying not to make a huge arm. Well, it's actually cutting off in the little preview window. So I guess it can get pretty high up there. Got something more like that right now. And I kind of don't want to put any of the backpack there just because it's distracting from the outline. Size-wise, that might be pretty good. Now, the thing I think I'm going to have to do... Well, these actually blend pretty good. This doesn't blend very nice. Maybe the pipes will kind of take care of that. As far as covering up this edge. So what is... I mean, an extruded cylinder would be sort of the right thing. Or maybe I could do it as a really thick line? Unfortunately, the color scheme is not working very well here. Well, at least everything's still responding right away. And that was the text. Yeah, these tools were working very weirdly for me. Freehand lines. Well, I've got some other things I need to fix first. Actually, no, this is a copy of... We got into some sort of mode here, okay. Okay, so I want to... We are in the head. Duplicate. Pardon? Ah, it was too light. Okay. It's a slightly different shade of blue. That was a fill paint. This is probably the easiest way to move it. Oh, yeah, that was a little bit more over here. Alright, then we want to go into point edit. It's not very visible at this angle. See it a little bit there. And you know what? That's actually kind of covering up their reference there. So I made that a little bit wider to try and make it visible at the smaller resolutions. Which it isn't. It still gets shrunk down so much, it's just a line. Yeah, that might be too small of a detail, but anyway. So I've got that. She had a little bit of... I might be able to trim this a little bit differently in the final one. Although, if we're doing that... create some room to move this out a bit. Let's create some room to make this... Ooh, was that not the preserve scale key? Okay, that's the preserve scale key. Preserve aspect ratio. Alright, so I wanted to see if we could cover up this boundary with the piping before I try merging all this stuff. And dealing with whatever that pathification does. We wanted to see if we could do a really, really thick line for that to make it easy to edit. Alright, so get that select out of my face. So somewhere back here. Okay, so the way you do this is you drag the handle initially. Edit points. Alt, Shift. There we go. Oh, can we actually get the effect we want, though? Maybe. Man, that's like just as invisible as it was in the other ones. I might have to redo this as a object, specifically so that I can put an outline on it. But maybe no, that has just as many control points. Oops. Hmm. Yeah, because it's going to see that as a path. Stroke to path? Aha! Okay, so there is an option to do that. I might actually have to use a different color for visibility as we kind of lay this out here. Oop, no, not the entire object. How do you remove a node? Sculpt nodes. I have to select only this node. No. Drag to select nodes. Aha, delete key. So, I think I am going to need it a little bit bigger at this scale, although if we start outlining it, then... the yellow is just not showing up. And maybe I need to go... Well, yeah, I mean, it starts to blend to the helmet color, but I guess... Yeah, there's some brighter highlights on the actual thing. I'm not... If I go... Oh, wait, here's all my node tools. Okay. And there's my snap twos. Oh, is it just all snapping? Able snapping percent. Okay. Anyway, what I actually need here is create and edit gradients. Aha. I know I found this before. Sort of. Whoa. That's like some What even? Save early, save often. Last time there was... I don't remember where it put it. Date code? Okay. I guess we've got this. All right, so we've got a copy of that. Now how the heck do I edit a stinking gradient? Oh, maybe it's an interactive thing, but I need to be able to edit the 2 point. Oh, edit the points. Okay. So I want full opacity. Can I even tell what direction light is coming from here? That might help a little bit. So I've got a really... Can I get... let's see, and then gradient mode. Oh, okay. Alright, so that was a Bizer. Bize, something like that. So we're going to have some somewhere back here. Ew. Not exactly what I wanted, but we might be able to work with that. Oh, and now these are joined, actually. And then that is... Snap to path, snap to path. That's all snapping. That does not give me... said it was select a point. Nope. Delete a point. Need to be in path edit mode. Delete that 1 point. So I thought we could do that curve with only 1 point out here. Or somewhere. Maybe we need one out there and another one in between. So interestingly enough, this one has done the sort of joined ones, whereas when I did it by kind of dragging things out, we got unjoined one, which kind of gives you some edges, but it also gives you a little bit more control. Anyway, is there... copy, paste style? It sort of pasted style. So gradient. Oh, the gradient for this is over here. What the? Okay. What's gonna look good here? And you need to go up. Oh no, that is the line for that. Okay, so that covers up the arm join a little bit. At scale, you don't really notice that. Save as our original here. Get it back to that. I've been putting off. Oh, I'm in point mode. Oh, I need to actually... Circle tool. Nope, that's too much. Is there like a... Nope. That's view. Okay, there we go. Alt arrow is like a bump. Okay, so clicking out of any object zooms out. Maybe there's probably hotkeys for these, aren't they? Oh, F3 is not entirely mnemonic, but F1, F2, F3. Oh, and that's M. F4. Star, F9, F6. Must have been somewhere else originally. So the gradient helps define that a little bit. It's still not super visible. And then the experiment I wanted to try. Can't undo that. Must be shift. Okay, that actually made a reasonable little outline. I don't know how you set these up to join properly. Wait, are you? Yeah, you were separated. I'm not sure. Oh wait, here they are. Insert new nodes into selected segments. Delete. Join. Break path. Delete segments. Corner. Smooth. Okay, just a smooth point. Symmetric. Auto smooth. Segments line, segments curve. Into path. Stroke to path. Clipping paths. Masks. Visor handles. Show path outline without path effects. Okay, so the corner is fine, corner is fine. Yeah, this still looks a little weird here. I guess I got a little bit too close to the edge, and I was relying on the fact that this bent in to... Now losing that nice rounded effect. I feel like I want these to be smooth, maybe? Yeah, okay, so that's joined. Yeah, not so much. We did lose some of the like interior shading on some of that stuff. I guess I could do some transparent gradients on top to get some of the detailing. Oh, and then this is one of the reasons I wanted to do this was so that this, all of this stuff could get an outline for this. Now we don't get an outline for the pipe or for the top of the helmet. I mean, maybe just for a visibility outline we could go smaller. But actually, that just kind of starts to look fuzzy. Yeah, so like the lights are kind of getting lost in the outlining effect. You kind of need that to define the boxes, but you're not getting the brightness of the lights. Which one of these was the original? Maybe we could do an off-white for these? Get some of the box effect without blasting out the white. Does that work for you too? Make it a definite line, but nah, I should just. Yeah, I mean the lines don't look good, but this might be a case like with the pipes where the shading would help. Oh, that changed my ordering. Wait, did I have that in front or behind before? I thought I had it behind. Maybe it's the way the black outline blends in looks weird. Alright, now I might have wanted to get these ovals before. Wow. That's a lightning. We just lost that gradient entirely. I guess it fell out of being anywhere in the document. Ah, there we go. Whole ellipse. But now we need to be back in regular mode, and we click it again to get rotate. And again to get scale. I almost need to have the outline be a separate object here. Well, I could duplicate it, do a transparent outline, and then the background. So I think that this got defined. Something's oh transparent here, but you're 255. Oh, but you're to opacity 0. What if that was opacity that, and then the entire object was? We are going to need the separate. Outline layer. Because otherwise it's going to end up looking weird. No, rotate. Yeah, something like our original shapes. Try and get some consistent lighting. Don't know if that'll work. But that is going to create kind of a hard edge again. I mean, it's alpha'd, so it's not as hard of an edge. Well, also we have the object. All right, so I think that's that shape. We need to duplicate that. This one needs to be fill none. Okay, so that's down beneath the pipes. These things need to be down beneath that. And they're interfering with each other. Maybe I need to do, like, if there's any lightning and darkening, they have to be two independent things. Well, they could still overlap each other. You need to be more careful about how you place them. And I've still got this sort of edge where we hit that. So actually there's kind of a shadow in the elbow. And we may also have some shadow down here. Does that mean we actually want to... No, I want to circle tool instead of gradient tool. And you're just kind of stuck there. It doesn't... And that just leaves this in a weird spot. It's almost like what I want to do. There was something about clipping paths. Hmm. How? It's probably a lot of weird stuff you could do here. These are specifically filters. Extensions. Anyway, where it was. Oh. Properties, align. Properties. Group, ungroup. Create a clone. Unlink. Deselect. I know that I saw something about clipping paths. Maybe that's... Create clip group, set clip. Well, it didn't clip that. That's layers, that's object. My problem is it's, well, okay, fill none, so that tells me something about what object we're in. Isn't there... Well, that sort of lets us see everything, but doesn't really help me distinguish between the two layers. Okay, so no paint. Set clip. Set clip for what? Clipping and masking. Without clipping. Clipping or masking and tool controls. Actual path and not a shape. So that's sort of a shape. That I use to make this. To clip an object, then both the object and the clipping path. The clipping path must be above the object to be clipped in Z order. That seems to be not very clipped to me. And maybe it got removed and turned into a clipping path that didn't clip anything? Oh, maybe I have to right-click on this thing. That seems decidedly unclipped to me. When a clipped object is selected, the status bar will display the type of object when clipped. Status bar, style indicator, current, I guess this is current drawing layer? Pointer position. Yeah, okay, so that's the status bar. Let's put the type of object. Ellipse. Clipped in layer main stamp. I'm not seeing it here. They did say something about path versus object. And technically, so no paint. Object to path. Should be no visible difference. Wait. You got your mode changed though. Alright, so now you're a path. Nope. It's now a path, and it's not clipping diddly squat. Clipped in layer. New rotation handlers. Is there a way to view the clip? What's this? Oh. It's the entire image, but also these aren't the sizes we need. Oh yeah, and it's the entire image, so I'd probably have to change my document bounds or something for that to be useful. So how do we get a little bit of detail in here without having these overlap messes? Radial gradient, mesh gradient, unset paint, so it can be inherited. Oops. Interesting bounds, which don't seem to be doing anything. I guess the object looked to itself. Well, I mean, it gets rid of the hard edges. And there's still an odd little bit over here. And then... Now, I can't just reproduce the ovals down here, because I probably should have kept this original shape. But I mean, for shading purposes, well, I can't do the clipping thing. We don't want a stroke, we do want a fill. We want a gradient. Something like that. Now, I probably want this to be a darken only gradient, which we don't have. Wait. There's no... Oh, because it was... Is the other end? No, it's full opacity. There doesn't seem to be any gradient there. Maybe I should just stretch it out. Yeah, okay, that's a little bit better. Then you need to get layered properly. Okay, below the outline. Will a rectangle even work for this? Down here, not really. This is where I would need that clipping thing to work. Oh, so it's clipping to the path there. Oh, and I think that removed the actual So I would actually have to have a duplicate of this. To use as the clipping path. For that object. I wonder why the ovals couldn't be clipped. Anyway. Is this something I do with the gradient? I can definitely make that darker. It actually kind of blends with the helmet a bit. Ooh. I guess what we need to do is bring this back. Oh, there's a hard edge again. That's unfortunate. Can I tweak it a little bit to remove that? So we kind of lose the edge of the helmet. It needs to be a little bit darker. And there's still things that are a little bit behind me, like you get the outline here, you don't get there. Got a forced white outline there. These details are still muddy. The only means I have to deal with that would be stroke to path, so we then what am I? Aha. That's what I'm missing. Well, it's forced, but it's a lot more visible. Adds a little bit more context to the picture. I might have to do a line down here as well. How about you? And you've got some weird color set. Well, that defines the helmet a little bit. To get a definition on this, I'd either have to... Ooh. Okay, so somewhere... That got separated again. The other way to do this would be to do something like duplicate. We really need to expand slightly, don't we? Then send you down, and... Ooh, that's still... And send you down some more. That creates some more top definition in the light background one. It's still enough black. That might be about the limit of my ability right now. I almost think these need to be bigger. That's going to come at the expense of the header or something. I guess we could also attempt an export and see how it actually looks. So, save work in progress. I want the border. Hmm. Get you out of group. I had this in a frame at one time. Then we can hide. Oh, those backgrounds were in frame layer too. Okay, that sort of makes sense. All right. We need some sort of like. Did it just sort of make an implicit file? Is there a new... Oh, yep, there's an export area selection. Interesting way to do that dialogue. Oh, so you can set... Well, I need to... Despite making that square, it's not square. So I do have specific sizes. 112 by 112. Yep. So it has some definite ideas about rasterization, and I don't know why. I've always understood this to be a vector editor, so I don't know why there's any association between this stuff and DPI. So I guess since my DPI is going down, I actually want to export this at some higher resolution. What I really want to do is reset this whole process. That didn't reset it. That didn't reset it either. I think it was originally like 230-ish. Yeah, and then we've got this unevenness again. And we don't have a file by that name. We should probably clean this up. open with... It's not even an option. So we actually have pretty close to a square crop here. Oh, that's recently used. It's an awful lot like this. $230 by $229. Oh, but this is not even the crop we want. Because this is everything. I definitely want to cut off at least that much stuff. 209. And we could really use a little bit more space here. By 206, 212. This is already very pixely. And then we would like to bump the whole thing up. No. What am I... Position. Cut off at least some of that bottom stuff there. Which is really just kind of working space. Yeah, that position was bad. We want to bump this over. Oh, no, we went back to... Lost it. Yeah, maybe 0, 0. Alright, so... Scale image to 112. I think 72 is standard, isn't it? That does not look good. Yeah, I think we need to import it at higher DPI. Well, I am at 400%, to be fair. That still looks pretty rough at that zoom. Maybe it always looks rough at that zoom. No, I mean, those are individual pixels, so... Maybe you'd get more detail if I imported at a higher resolution. So back to here. Yeah, I mean, we've already got some... I kind of feel like I want to re-export this at... And it seems like ridiculous DPI for whatever reason we don't understand. So I'm going to close this. It should now be a recent. So that's initially looking much better. And for cropping, you might even have to zoom out. And then zoom back in. But to square that off, probably going to have to cut it there. That's... I mean, I'd almost say bring it up a little bit. To hide some of that. This... All right, 948, 933. So we're generally going to have more... Oh, no, that was width. Oh, no, we've... Was that because the window changed? We set a size, but we still lost it. Sure, we go 8, and then 948. Okay, so we are moving the box now. Move that up, mostly. All right, let's see if this gives us... Oh, I didn't notice this. Enough resolution to work with. Image. Scale image. So at 100%, I think we're at 200%, 400%. I mean, that's a little bit less jarring. Undo scale, image, scale image, 56 at 72. Undo scale, image, scale image, 56. Was it 24? Or 28? Well, I guess we'll have to see. This one might be close enough to see how it looks in app. I might actually need some thicker outlines. Because this... so how does this compare to... Whoa. Yeah, so I didn't make these small enough for my typical working size. So you can see a little bit more what's going on. And I think this is the currently published one. Is that the currently published one? Yeah, because we did that one. I think that is the currently published one. And we did that, which had a little bit more definition. So that's an improvement a bit. But still not something I'm happy with. Hmm. I can make some of the lines a little heavier. I don't know why these first ones have the black backgrounds. But we saw that in... No. This one as well. And that one. Hmm. So you'd like the side lights to be a little bit more visible. And maybe 24 is just... Yeah. It's almost amazing that you can see that much detail in... Or 28. You can actually see that much detail in the actual icon. But this is getting into pixel art territory. Framing outline could be bigger, but I don't know that it needs to be. The things that I'm really struggling with are making out the helmet. I don't want to make the arm smaller, but I might have to make a little bit smaller so we can increase the side lights. I don't really want to make the helmet smaller either, but if you're going to want to make the side lights visible, then you've got to create space somewhere. Alright, so you were an automatic backup. You were a very old backup. You were sort of intermediate backup. This is sort of like... so we need our framing layer on. Okay, I can't do both of these. What was my maintain aspect ratio? I covered up exactly the thing I was trying to look at. Oh, the image size there. Well, it says 28 by 28, it's something, I guess. But the problem is... yeah, these were a bunch of arbitrary numbers I chose to get that thing working, so I don't think that's really... gonna really be able to go with that, but I didn't want to zoom in there. That's it's not far off. So in here, that's 32. Oop, that did not... get the background. So for the zoom I'm working at, that might be closer to actual size. And then, like, well, I guess just the entire head becomes smaller in here. So it can fit in. And I might have to move all this stuff over. And the arm may have to shrink a little bit, which is going to be a pain in the butt because we kind of got stacks and stacks and stacks of outlines there. So we've got a shading object, we've got an outline, which I think the clipping outline, that outline, is we're really going to have to remove a lot of that stuff and start from scratch to keep everything lined up. That has a clipping outline, which and these things got turned into outline paths, which, I mean, that might still be able to work. No. No. Snap to paths, nodes, and handles. That's feeling a little bit close now. But we converted this thing to a path, so it's going to be really painful to move. That was not what I wanted to grab. Okay, so we built this up out of, oh my goodness, what are my settings on? Out of some sort of ellipse. And we kind of need to give ourselves some visual space here to define this. And man, it's like it's just too detailed of a drawing. You're not even in my layer, dude. Oh my gosh, I've done something. Oh, maybe locking it will keep it from being selected. one of the things we want to do is we want to shrink this a little bit, which means I might have to shrink the hand. We pretty much lost the outline here. I might have to crease that at some point. Aha. Edit that a little bit directly. So we need enough space that this can be its own thing. You can see the headlights a little bit. Curves and lines. Or just if you can make an object out of it. It's probably been dragging handles out here. Ooh. Okay, it's not a line, but you can fill it. It might have a stroke when we get to that. You I want to be a little one-sided directed thing. These I want to be smooth, I think. Ish. And that'll actually work kind of well with the pipes. Don't even need this detail in here. Maybe I should have a little bit of a... I can't even see any of this. And it feels like the body should be kind of following this line. Yeah, actually, that arm attaches higher. The only problem is that starts running into our little side light thing, and could be kind of muddying that up. Ew. I guess that's an okay outline. This feels kind of empty down here. It's like this wants to move back, but then we're kind of running into this thing again. The original model was actually more of a straight down. And then it would joint lower, but we're trying to keep some distance here. So take you, you, and you, you, and you. Union. Fix that up. Then we want to duplicate that. Fill none, stroke. And object. Oop. Yes, below its center. And I probably should have kept my original ovals. Nothing else would have been a better setup. And that was probably that one. Oop, opacity lag. And then you, I want to be beneath the outline. Oh, actually, that wasn't it. What I did before is I blurred. And that got rid of some of these hard join edges. Oh, it's a large because of the blur now. Yeah, your layering is off. Okay, I could probably actually do less blur. Okay, we're getting some overlap there. I think I tweaked your gradient direction a little bit. And what the heck did I just do? What the... Well, I mean, that's kind of about where you want a little bit of detail. Now, the awkward one is I had a sort of a smaller area under here. So we had a rectangle. Okay. I mean, I guess the actual orientation of the rectangle doesn't matter if we've got our gradient good. Alright, so you need to be... beneath those. This might actually make an uncomfortable thing here. We need to take this, we need to duplicate it, use it as a clipping path. Yes, there's a hard edge up there now. Wait. Oh, no, now I've scaled the clipped object. I'm gonna... modify the clipped square. But now it's the clipped object, so I can't rotate the object without rotating the clip? Is that right? Yes. So we need to clip later in the process. Oh, so that wouldn't actually be there. Oh, that might be a corner rounding handle. And we're going to have to do enough of this to prevent a hard edge there. I might be able to bring this in a bit and sort of hide it behind the pipe. I kind of want this more of a dark under helmet thing. Or I could actually bump this pipe out. Okay, so select this big outline, this thing, set clip. Well, that wasn't what I wanted to select. Okay, fill none, stroke black. Oh, no, I know what I had to do. Although it worked before. Object to path. Then this thing. Set clip. Then we take this. Can I move it over? I feel like I might not be able to move it over. Not exposing stuff. I can move this up easy. And then I'll kind of... Shoot. I undid my way into that a little bit. Can I still do this? Apparently. And that makes this a little bit more what I was originally going for, which is kind of an under helmet shade. So some of this will get cut off. There's like a lot of empty space here that I don't like. But I've got like 3 copies of this outline now, so it's not super editable. I have a selection for this entire thing, don't I? I know I'm in main stamp. Layer 1, main stamp. Export, hide all except. I mean, that's not exactly what we had before, but it's appropriate-ish. All right, close that. All right, cropping. So a bunch of that'll go. That's about right. So we're at 948 again. 948, 94, 948. So it's actually fitting a bit better. Might as well just take you down. Where's that crop? And I kind of don't like all that space there. Image, crop to selection. Select none. Image. Scale image to 112 at 72. Nope, no, 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 no. Unscale. Scale image to 56. Wave 56. Undo. Scale image to 28. Export as wave. Okay, 24, go away. It's still kind of a muddy mess. Maybe it's the outline that makes the arm look big. But I might have room to remove some of that to make the head bigger. Can you even tell it's a wave? The bigger ones, yes. The 28 is a struggle. I'm wondering if it would work better if I remove some detail from the top here. I could perhaps try simplifying the helmet design, just kind of do basic circle without any of the reflections and stuff. Almost feels like I need to make the side lights even bigger for visibility at this size. I might try that one out and see how it feels. It's might still need a lot more fiddling. And from my recollection, you pretty much have to delete the emote, let that settle, then it frees up the symbol for re-uploading. So that's going to have to wait a bit. This. Make sure we've saved our work. So I think that's going to be it for now. Let's see, that might hit something else as I'm playing around. So that's it. I'll try this out for a week, and if I'm still unsatisfied, I might be doing this next Tuesday. Otherwise, I expect to be back to programming in the mornings. Get this off for next time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hosting. see if we have anything to recommend. As I said, I'm normally doing code in the mornings and then games in the afternoon. Tuesday's kind of like I'm going to be doing grocery shopping later today is the plan. Catch up on everything else. What do we have? I've stumbled onto a few other artists over time. I'm not seeing any of them right now. Yeah, that's not one of my main beats. Makings of a Hero. I might be doing some Blender stuff later. He is coding a MOBA RTS, and I think... I'm not super up to date. I know she was doing some modeling earlier. Okay, so the environments are still blocked in. We're starting to get some characters. So it looks like it's coding right now. Maybe some Blender later. We're looking for someplace cool to hang out. Makings of a Hero is someplace cool to hang out. Thanks for hanging out with me. Goodbye and until next time.